Hello students, myself Dr. C.R. Chaugule, Head Department of English, Gopal Krishna Gokhale College, Kolhapur. This lecture is for the students of BA3 Special English. Name of the paper number 14 is English Drama for the semester 6. Let us know the Module 7 Nagmandala by Girish Karnad. Girish Karnad was born at a place called Matheran in 1938. He spent a major part of his childhood at a small town, Sirsi, in Karnataka. His father was a physician and had worked at a Sassoon hospital in Pune. His father's stay in Pune is quite an important event. During his stay in Pune, his father is reported to have regularly seen the Marathi performance by Bal Gandharva. At home, he always talked about these performances. As a child, Girish Karnad listened to his father very attentively and asked him questions. His father spoke at length about Bal Gandharva and Keshavarao Bhosle and the play they acted in. As a school-going child in Pune, Karnad given ample opportunity to read Marathi books and interact with his fellow students in Marathi. It is also reported that Girish Karnad himself acted in different Marathi and Kannada plays during his school days. Apart from this, his father was himself a serious reader of folk tales and legends. He narrated stories of ghosts and mythical heroes to Karnad. Girish Karnad told Madhav Vazai in an interview that what he has got from Sirsi, he never got from any other place in his life. An old woman, Kalyanka, narrated all kinds of stories to Girish Karnad. He is listened to her late in the night and sometimes until midnight. From Sirsi, the family migrated to Dharwar. Dharwar too was fairly important center of theatrical activities. Marathi plays were frequently staged at Dharwar. Girish Karnad, along with his brother, acted in a number of Marathi plays. They acted in plays written by P.L. Deshpande, especially plays like Sharda and Amaldar. Nagmandala is a two-act play written by the well-known Indian playwright and actor Girish Karnad in 1987-88 and published in 1988. Nagmandala means a play with cobra. Nagmandala was basically a Kannada play, then was translated into English. The play blends history with mythical elements. The story of Nagmandala is taken from a Kannada folklore which Girish Karnad heard from the poet A.K. Ramanujan. The narrator of Nagmandala is the story and is narrated to a man. This play belongs around Rani, the protagonist, her husband's indifferent attitude towards her, and her incognizant affair with King Cobra. Rani loses her husband, Apanna, to a concubine and becomes anxious about the situation. Kurudava, an old blind lady, advises Rani to use two magical roots, a small one and a big one, which can enchant her husband back to herself. When the small one fails, she decides to use the big one, but she is reluctant to fascinate her husband by this way. She determines to allure Apanna the other way by love and affection instead, so she pours the paste of the root mixed in a curry into an ant hill where a king cobra consumes it. The king cobra assumes the appearance of Apanna and replaces him at nights. Rani gets pregnant by the naga, that is cobra. Apanna gets enraged by her suspicious conception and brings Rani to village elders, where she takes an oath on a cobra on the advice of Naga. The elders believe her to be of divine birth as the cobra moves around her neck like a garland, and her innocence is proved. Apanna finally accepts her and the child, and they lead a happy life. Let us know the act first of Nagamandala. The narrator of Nagamandala is the story and is narrated to a man. The main characters of Nagamandala are the Naga and Rani. There is a couple, Apanna and Rani, in a village. Apanna's illegitimate affair with a concubine keep him away from Rani. He spends most of his time away and visits home alone only during lunch. Rani is locked up inside the home. Their married life begins to ruin. Rani longs for her husband's love, but finds no development in Apanna's daily routines. Apanna would always yell at Rani even during the small amount of time he spends with her. She receives no love and liberty in the house. No one is there to support her there. At any cost, Rani wants to win back her husband. Kurudava, an old blind lady, and her son Kapanna comes to meet Apanna at his house one day. They find the house is closed. They discuss Apanna's infamous activities with his concubine. Rani hears this and comes to the window, and Kurudava learns Rani's pathetic situation. She gives her 2 love roots and advises to drug her husband with the roots. First to try the small one and then the big one. The small root is mixed with the milk and given to Apanna, but nothing changes in his routine. Then Rani decides to use the big root mixed in a curry, but she loses her hope to win her husband in this way. So she pours it into an ant hill where a king cobra, the Naga of the title, resides. Naga consumes the curry and is overpowered by the strength of the magical root. At once, Naga falls into her love. He begins to follow Rani. Let us see the conclusion of Act First. We can see that women can only on par with men through attaining a godlike status, but this is only the case if the status quo of the society is maintained. In Rani's case, society is still patriarchal and exploitative in nature. However, she gains respect due to events that unfold during the trial. Her material reality has not changed. Hence, Girish Karnad implies that as long as the existing material reality of woman is not changed, where they are forced to be reliant on the closet patriarch in their life, they can only attain freedom and respect by becoming godlike. In the next lecture, we will see the Act Second of Nag Mandala. Thanks for listening me carefully and attentively. Thank you.